Let's take a look at how we can start with a quiz that was created in the OLS for us. Go ahead and make a copy, make a modified version of the quiz, and then assign it a graded item, and then to assign each of the quizzes to a specific group. So a lot of things to do. Let's go ahead and dig in. So I'm going to start by making a copy of the current quiz. So to do that, I go to View and Copy. I'm going to go ahead and copy the assessment. You can, of course, always go down and look at the different parts of it before you start modifying it, but you can also, once you get ready to, you can go ahead and fix that. So with your assessment title, you might want to give it a name that is similar, but that has a code that you know that this is the modified version. So you could name it version 2 or something like that. Version B, you could do it just do. I've seen some people just do this, so it's not even that noticeable. Just point to, and you can do that in your graded item as well. It doesn't really matter as long as you know that this is the modified version. This is the copy that you're making. So when you go ahead and do this, you can remove questions, you can edit. So for instance, if you wanted to edit it and you wanted to go ahead and remove one of the choices, you would click the delete here. You could add, you could change the choices. I can go ahead, once I've clicked edit for this question, I can go ahead and change this to something else and take away one of my choices. Once I've finished with that question, make sure that you have the right answer selected. And then you can also go down and check any of the other things that you want. So it gives you a little information that you can use to help you. So once you do that first question, you'll save it, and you will just keep going until you're all done. You can add additional questions in if you don't like the ones that are there. You can preview, see what it looks like once you've taken out some of the choices and things like that. So once you get all of your questions done or all of your answer choices done for question 1, you can edit question 2 and so on and so forth. Okay. When there are multiple variations, you can decide if you want those variations. You can start by creating a new question and removing some of the old ones. Whatever you are doing for that modification purposes is what you're going to do. When you're all done, then once you've finished with that quiz, you'll click Save. Now I will have 2 versions of this quiz when I go back to my content. So you do always have to choose a reason for edit. To address course modifications is the usual one. Then this always gives you a little alert too. So you're going to make sure that student access is on. You need to add a grade item. We'll do that in just a moment. And we also need to create release conditions. We're going to do that because we're going to send it to just one group of students. So we do want to make sure that we set those release conditions. So now it will save now that we've selected a reason. And then it says it can be found at the end of the same module as the original assessment. You can see the original assessment here. There's also a place where we can do release conditions here, but let's go back to the actual assessment so you can see where they would be found in your content. So here, this is the original, this is the modified version. You could again put the 2.06 in front if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. As long as you have something in here that shows you it's the modified version, you're all set. All right, so this one needs to have a grade item set for it. To do that, we can scroll down here, add a grade item. Then we don't want to do this because you see a lot of times people will say, I went to make it a grade item and all it gives me is extra credit. We don't want to go there. We want to go to the plus sign. We want to give it a name. So whatever it's named in your grade book is what you probably want to name it. And then you can name it with the 0.2 after it, or if it's quiz 2.06 and then 0.2, doesn't matter as long as you know what it is. If it was in Unit 2, we'll select Unit 2. Make sure your points are set to whatever you want it to be. Make sure that if it were a bonus, you would select here. You probably don't want to exclude it from final grade calculation. So you want to leave that alone. And then you can also put start dates and end dates there, but you don't need to. So once we have that quiz in there, we're going to go back. We can click save. We're going to go back to that content page that shows us those items again. So let's go back to this. And now we're able to see that we have 2 quizzes. They're both assigned to graded items. We could click on each one and scroll all the way down like we just did to assign it to a certain group, or we can just go to Edit Properties in Place. We can add dates and restrictions. What we're going to do is we're going to add a release condition. So you can also do your due date here if you're ready. If not, you can just create your release condition. We're going to go all the way down to Group Enrollment under Class List, and then we're going to select the group. So this was our regular version, so I'm going to give that to Group 1 because Group 1 is my Gen Ed group. And then I click Create. Then once you click Update, you can see, and you can double check yourself. Okay, this was the original quiz. It's assigned to Group 1. All right, that's right. Then you do the same thing for this one. Edit Properties in Place, add dates and restrictions, create your condition, make sure it's Group Enrollment, select Group. This is going to go to Group 2 because this is my modified. The SE stands for Special Ed, so I don't mix that up. So the 0.2 and 2 match up, 0.2 and Group 2. If that helps you, you can name it like that. It's completely up to you. So then once I've done that, I can click Update. Now I have modified my test. I have assigned it to a grade item, the modified version, and then I assigned it to a specific group. So we did a few big things there. Feel free to go back and review this video to help you. Reach out if you have any questions or need help as you work through that process. If we go now to our grade book, we'll now be able to see that there is a second 2.06. There's a second 2.06 quiz. And there's a couple things you can also do to make it easier to find that. So when you scroll over here to the 2.06 quiz, there's only one. Uh-oh, what did I do? You have to keep scrolling. Remember, it said it would be added to the end, but I don't want it at the end. I want it where it goes. How can I do that? I can go to Manage Grades. Once I get to Manage Grades, I can scroll down to make sure I still see it there. Then I can go up to the top here, go to More Actions and reorder it. If I go to Unit 2, you can see it has the order. So I want it to be third. So if I want it to be third, I just go here and click Save. Now when I scroll down to Unit 2, you can see that it comes third. And I probably should have named it 2.06 quiz 0.2. I could name it exactly the same as the other one. It really doesn't matter that much as long as you know what it is and the students know what it is, and it doesn't look like it's anything different than what they would be expecting to see. So as long as they know that it's 2.06 quiz, that's the important thing. Okay, so again, we did several things here. So make sure if you have any questions, you reach out to your mentor, you ask me for help, and I'd be happy to help you with any of this.